Welcome back, everybody, for another episode of The Forest Creative Mode. Now, I've been doing a bunch of work last couple weeks, trying to get some more stuff done with the new Viking fishing village, and I finished the tavern/inn and a few other things. I've done some cleaning up too with some of the visuals, fixing a few problems I found, and making sure I had plants growing properly, getting everything look better. But let's go ahead and take a look at what I've gotten done since last episode, and then we're going to start work on another part today. First off, you can see I've got a lot of blueberry bushes grown in finally all around the area. I have had to replant some of the flowers that I planted because they've already despawned, but fortunately my aloe is still looking good for the moment. This will probably be something later on. I'll come back and just sweep through this location and every other location I do to set all those back up and give it time to grow. But here is the new tavern/inn. I didn't want any real windows in the front or than the upper floor. I did do a little bit on the side just because, hey, you're going to be looking out. And we've got a back patio top set up, balcony sort of thing that you could go down and sit and, eat on. But here is the inside of the tavern. I've tried to make it feel sort of like a bar tavern type thing. It does have, of course, a few seating tables, decorations. Since we are in a fishing village, we do have a shark head up there and up there above the door, but also we rely as a village right here along the coast. They have a lot of deer and other things that they are hunting, so we got plenty of deer skin. I've also made a couple decorative weapons above the fireplace. So here we have the back of the bar. I've lit it up with some skull lamps because I thought that would look really cool. And I put a couple arrow baskets down for the moment, but I'm leaving the rest open because I am certain they're going to add some more decorative stuff later on. So I didn't want to fill it all up and then have new things added that would actually look better. And I decided to go with these smaller cabinets and just have, the sodas, which technically would not exist at the time, but hey, it's a drink. And of course, glass balls of booze would not exist at the time, but, keeping with the theme of having this as a bar, so we got our drinks here. We also, if you come in here, underneath the stairs, we have a little storage supply room where we got our meat hanging up to dry, and we've got meds for healing. We also have some energy meds, so kind of the old school version of, amp energy drink, Red Bull, and then of course we have the main storage of our sodas and booze in here. Now I chose for lighting to try the skull chandeliers. They work well, but they don't provide as much lighting as I would like, so I did add standing skull lamps all around the area, in the corners mainly, and of course having these underneath the bar help with that. But coming outside to the patio, it's a different story. I didn't want to do any lighting out here. I just wanted to have the tables, so we went with the little side tables and chairs for those. We have long tables here, so you have a big banquet or something like that, kind of little thing going there. And I went with standing fires. The reason for that being that restaurants around here have the little outdoor patios. During wintertime, they'll still keep that going, but what they'll do is have little space heaters out there. So I'm treating it like the same thing. This is a standing fire. It gives you some light, and it works like a space heater, keep you warm when it's cold outside. So coming up the stairs, we come into the inn part of it, where we have a little couch, and we have a, deer head here. Again, I'm going to wait and see what new decorations we get. Maybe we get some better stuff for placing on the floor, like I could have a bigger rug. Maybe we get bears added to the game and can hunt them for a bearskin rug. I don't know what we're going to have in the future, but I want to leave it open for the time being. So the basic premise of the rooms are you have a bed, you have a small side table that could keep like a drink on it or something, and have a chair. And what I've done is I've actually gone in each of these rooms and kind of flip-flopped it back and forth. So the chair is against this wall on the other side, and the bed's on the opposite from that. And then, of course, each room has its own little skull lamp in the corner as well for lighting. I figured one in each room was enough. It doesn't need to be super bright. This is where people come to visit family and stay while they're in town because they don't live here, so they just need a quick little place to stay, or they're passing through. They're traders from another port town somewhere, and so they need a place to stay for the night before they head back out on their boat the next day. So that is the new tavern slash bar and inn type thing. I have done some other work around the town. I've actually gone and fixed a couple of doors that were backwards where the lock was on the outside. I have also gone through and taken every bed and switched it from a display color to no display, so we don't have all these houses showing all over the village, making it look weird when we're at a distance. But I have got, of course, all my stuff done for the shops at the front. I still have this one shop right here that I have not filled out yet, and I'm not 100% on what I want to do with it yet. I still got to come up with something as far as how I'm going to use this shop, what kind of theme it's going to have. And I need to come up with some new housing arrangements because I want to do something different in this section here. I don't have any more stores I think I'll need. I just want to do something different with the housing here. And not necessarily bungalows, maybe more of a luxury houses kind of thing where each house has like an upstairs. I'm not sure on that yet. I've got to do some more thinking. Right now, part of what slowed me down this is just the ideas. I'm so conflicted on what I want to do, and in some cases, it's a matter of knowing what I want to do and then figuring out the best way to implement it in the game, because some of the build controls are a little wonky. Okay, so we are here in the daylight again. I want to make sure it was nice and bright, and we are going to try to do something here. I want to build like a banquet hall, kind of town hall right here. The problem is where the leaves and branches come out from this, it doesn't give me as much room, I think, further back. So we're pretty much just going to have it be kind of a large building with some long tables in it. And I want to figure out a way to turn this area into like a little, kind of a garden almost, maybe a little playground area for the kids. Maybe try to get a little house, you know, tree house type thing going up here where they, oh yeah, look, come up here and play, kids, kind of situation. But for now, what I really want to do is I want to figure out a way to make the town hall. And the problem is, you know, I want to place everything closer to the ground level so it doesn't look weird, everything's up on stilts. But the problem is with that a lot of the grass shows through, and unfortunately the trick I tried before with the rock path, where you place a rock path down and then use the hole cutter to break it, removing the path but keeping the smooth grass, does not work. The grass will reappear later on unless you leave the rock path in place, and I don't want to have rock paths going all through this area just to make it look better with the grass. So we're going to have to build this a little bit higher right here at the middle part. And that also means I'm going to have to try to gauge how high I want this to be out to the corner, because we are going to kind of build from the corner over here. Now, this is not a big village. You know, it's a little fishing village. We don't need it to be super big in regards to the town hall. Just kind of like a banquet hall. And see there, if I build like that, it's going to clip through the floor. Well, it didn't line up quite the way I was really wanting it to, but it is working nonetheless. And I think we're just going to have to make do with this until they change some of the building aspects in the game where they can make it a little bit easier to get things to line up symmetrically. Though, with it being this far into the game, I'm kind of doubtful that's going to happen anytime soon. But at least it did even out. So we've got an even number of spots at the front. So we're going to go with building a door here and putting up our own little custom stairs here. And that means I've got plenty of room. Don't have to have them too short. So I can walk right up. And now, this is going to be 2 levels high. So I'm going to do another one above this, like in the tavern, but it's going to be just 1 room. So it's a question of, do I really want it to be windows or not? I'm thinking, let's do this one different. Let's not have any windows on this. Let's just do the doorway, because this is, you know, town hall kind of thing where they make some of their big decisions, as well as have everybody get together and talk about their issues and have just like a little banquet or something like that. So we don't need it to be where everybody could just walk by and listen in on the big discussions going on. We're going to keep it private. So, come on, go up there. Yeah, we go. Now we're going to do this too. Well, everyone, we have made it to morning. I have done a few different things. I've tried some stuff during the night, trying to figure out how I want to do the tables. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a mixture where we build the table and then build the chair afterwards, and it has to sit a certain distance out. And then I have these going where what I'm doing is I'm leaving the blueprint unfinished. So when I do that, I can finish it and it will then be stuck underneath, like the chair's been pushed in under the table, as is good manners. So all I'm doing is just doing the blueprint, and then before I complete the blueprint, place down the chair blueprint in place, which this of course does make it a little bit more difficult to get everything to line up just right as far as the tables. But like you can see there, I'm off a little bit on my table. But that's okay, we're going to leave it. We're not expecting this to be perfectly symmetrical. If it was going to be perfectly symmetrical, then we'd already have better snapping options built into the game. But we have, basically, I'm going to have tables all along the sides here. This is going to kind of be the head honcho table. This is the mayor and his assistants, the chieftain, however you want to call it. And we're going to have these here, and then I'm going to do a couple of tables here and do the same thing on this side. The idea being that, hey, if we're having a meeting, everybody can kind of grab the chairs, sit to the side, but this is the focal point of the room. This is where everybody is looking at when they talk in the meetings. And, you know, this is going to be the ones that kind of oversee any banquet or whatever. So we're going to have that right as you walk in. This is also kind of be, I guess, like a courtroom, assuming that they, you know, wouldn't just, oh, you stole something, we're going to chop your hand off. Then, you know, this would be where they would have them come in and be like, oh, do you plead guilty or not guilty? And, okay, death by hanging, whatever. So, I like this layout. I like the way this is working. So, we're going to do one more set of tables here, spread out a little bit, and then leave this middle area open. And I'm going to replicate everything onto this side as well. And then I got to figure out how I want to do all the lighting. I think I'm going to do chandeliers split instead of right down the middle, one on each side all the way around. So I think I'm just going to stick with chandeliers in this one. So let's see how that looks when this is done. So I have learned that even though there's plenty of clearance right here above the table, I still cannot place the bone chandelier directly above a table. So for some reason, that still is a bug in this. So we're going to just have to go right there. And we'll go with one right by the door. There we go. All right, so they're not perfectly lined up, of course, but I do have all the bone chandeliers in place. And let's get all of these lit up and see how this looks. Oh yeah, that is plenty bright enough right there. I mean, come on, that's gotta be enough light at night for them to have a little banquet type meeting in here. So, okay, we have completed the town hall, banquet hall. I've got to think how I want to do the little playground, garden area. I know I want to do some couches out there, you know, or benches, actually, probably be better. And have that kind of here, just like a gather around big tree type thing. And then, of course, we still have our little signal fire here, which I have not lit yet. But we got good bit of progress done on this. I've got to do some more thinking about the last shop and get some ideas for how I want to do the additional housing right here, the premium housing district, as it were. And I may have one house like right here where this ends at the house doorstep. And then that should be pretty much it for this village. Everything's in place. We got all our rafts, got the large rafts, and gonna have all that. I'm thinking on that little island over there, or maybe one of the ones over further in the distance there, having like a hermit type hut thing where it's just like somebody who wants to live on their own. That might be something I'll throw in just before I get done with this area. And then once all that's done, it should be time to move on to the next place, which I'm not 100% sure which one I want to do next. Well, that's it for today's episode, everybody. I hope you enjoyed what I've got done so far and what we managed to get through today. And if you've got any ideas for the last shop or for the premium, luxury housing, let me know. Put it in a comment below. But if you like the video, be sure to hit that like button. Also, make sure you hit subscribe, tick the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And as I said, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you got ideas for the new premium housing district, for the last shop, anything else that you could think of you would like to see possibly implemented in this village here, the fishing village, before we complete it and are ready to move on. But thanks for watching, guys. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Spicy. Keep it spicy this week, and I will see you in the next video.